Hi, I'm Catrina Demonteverde with IdeateTV, and here we have Christopher Gilman. He's a specialty costumer and a special effects creator, and he is here to tell us more about what he does and the work that's right behind us. Hi, Christopher. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for having us today.
Well, thanks for coming over.
Yeah, of course. So I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to do what you do today? I know you had mentioned that you started off as a stunt double and doing acting on the side as well, but this is your specialty, obviously. So how did you get started?
Well, interestingly, my father was in the aerospace business, so I grew up around that and thought maybe I would go into the aerospace world. But after the Apollo space program ended, my father went from 40 employees down to 8 and almost went out of business. And I remember in school that even during the Great Depression in 1929, people still went to the movies. Well, my parents' hobby was auto racing, so I knew Paul Newman and Jim Brolin through auto racing. And the only door they really opened for me was here, by saying, look, there's no secret handshake. All you have to do is go do it. So I started off, as you said, in acting and doing stunt work. And when I got out to Los Angeles, I had a variety of skills and ended up building props, doing on-set special effects, and then got into doing specialty wardrobe. So that's how I ended up doing specialty costume. And then we started Global Effects in 1986, worked on Predator, Terminator, then went on to set up a whole rental department where we specialize in renting what we call specialty wardrobe, basically things that involve other materials than fabric.
Wow. How long did it take for you to, get started into, acting first and then step into, this whole other world, of creating costumes, of being like as creative as you are? Did it come easy for you because you are so creative? Because it wouldn't come easy to me because I don't have those ideas. but for you, somebody so talented, did it take a long time for you to start this part of your life?
Well, somebody pointed something out to me many, many years ago, which is there is nothing that's hard or easy, because to a juggler it's not hard. There are only things that are more or less familiar. So in my case, manufacturing, making things was familiar. I grew up around it. So the transition wasn't too hard, and of course it's always networking. The other thing that people told me when I first came out to Los Angeles was, it's not what you know, it's who you know, which isn't really true. It's who knows you.
You're very wise. I love all these statements because it's very true. I mean, when you said like it's about networking and whatnot, but you are right. It's about like who does know you, right?
Exactly. And so I never went to college, but that is one advantage college has, is networking. My best friend went to Cal Arts, and his roommate was Don Cheadle. And I saw Don's name on a show and went, that name sounds familiar. Why do I know? Oh, well, because he was Patrick's roommate. But networking is just, like we're doing now. You do interviews, you meet with people, you go to parties, and people get to know your work. And eventually, now people know you, and they come to you.
That's really incredible. And I know one of the first things, or one of the many things that you have done also, you also provided costumes to the Star Trek Voyager, that time too. Was that one of the first few things that you did in the beginning of your work before you got to be involved in something like Dracula or with all the other movies that you're doing?
Well, actually the first project I worked on, major project, was Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. And it was working for a company called the Hand Prop Room, and it does movie props. Then I worked on the original Predator and Terminator. And then Predator was actually one of the first big jobs that I worked on as my own company. I worked on it at the Hand Prop Room, but a lot of people don't know that originally Jean-Claude Van Damme was supposed to play the Predator. They started filming, the creature suit didn't work out, they shut down production, and it was a year before they went back to film. Well, in that time, I had quit working at the Hand Prop Room, started my own company, and ended up building stuff for the film because Kevin Peter Hall, the fellow who played the Predator, was my best friend. So I developed a cool suit system for him, and that eventually won where I won an Academy Award for the development of a cooling and heating garment for actors to wear under heavy suits.
Wow. I can't even imagine how you can even think of something like that and also create something that can do what it does. and to be as creative, like, where do those ideas come from?
Well, a lot of the ideas, first, if you learn any skill the way you would learn a language. Now, for instance, when most people are taught a skill, they're taught in what I call the cake mix model, which is do this, do this, do this, get this. So if you have vanilla cake mix, you can make a vanilla cake. But somebody gives you chocolate cake mix, well, does it work the same? Well, if you learn like you do a language, which is you learn the letters, you learn the sounds of the letters, you learn the rules of the letters, then you learn how they make up words, and then you learn how those words make up sentences. Now when you learn a skill, you learn how a saw works, how metal functions, how plastic works. Those are the letters. Then once you get more complex words, it's not that difficult because it is like a language. You just know, oh, this is going to work this way. From the creative side, just like an author, you get inspired by things you see, hear, other work people have done. You know the words, so now you rearrange those words or the materials or the designs. And then also collaboration. Like behind us we have the Dracula armor. That was Eiko Ishioka, myself, and Patrick Tatopoulos. A lot of people don't know that Patrick, who is a director, and now, if you've seen Face Off, he was a judge on Face Off for a while. And well, Patrick actually designed the helmet because the original idea of the suit was a wolf crossed with a gas mask. Well, Eiko had only ever rendered it from straight on. Well, when you made it into 3 dimensions, there is an animal alive walking around that kind of looks like a wolf and a gas mask. Any clue?
No.
An aardvark. And an aardvark is not a very scary or sexy looking creature. So unfortunately when we did the armor, the sculpture, the maquette, it looked like an aardvark. So we came up with a number of designs. Eventually she settled on the one you see here, and then we built it. So it is a collaborative effort as well.
Yeah, no, I love it. Thank you for describing in detail like how, the process of coming up with the concept and then actually like getting to the finished product.
For the Tim Burton movie, Mars Attacks, they were originally going to do all of the aliens, Martians, in stop motion. And the stop motion puppets they built were incredibly beautiful. They sent us one so that we could create a full-size body for the autopsy scenes. Well, he saw Toy Story and was so impressed with the digital work, the CG work, that they totally changed, got rid of the puppets, and decided to do all of the creatures CG. So we built really the only full-size, full aliens that you see. And so this guy is sculpted, and he's cast in a urethane rubber. And we even have his original red Speedos.
That's awesome.
So we made him up as a display as the leader when he's reading his message.
I love it. Thank you so much. So interesting to see it like up close and personal. So
I like the fact that he has just a little bit of movement, so you can,
yeah,
almost like a giant bobblehead.
It totally is. It is. So tell me, what current projects are you working on today?
Well, of course, we just finished First Man, which is out. We did another project that's coming out with Brad Pitt, Donald Sutherland, Tommy Lee Jones, called Ad Astra, and it's coming out next summer, about Brad Pitt traveling through space. It's a really high concept science fiction. It's a very interesting show. We did another project with Natalie Portman involving space. We're currently working on an Apple TV show. And I'm also currently doing some design work for a couple of space companies in real hardware. So keep busy.
Yeah, you're incredibly busy and so talented. I thank you so much for your time, Christopher. It was so nice meeting you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.